Greetings, all Shardvixen here, and this is What Does the Vixen Say? And today, get closer here, we are going to play a game. I'm going to do story dice. That's what these are. I'm going to roll them, then I have to make a story out of them. I think it'd make a really great stream thing. I'm leaning, because I'm in the shade and I don't want to fix it. I don't know how to. I don't know. Yeah, that's better. That's probably better. Now you see my messy counter behind me. Alright, so it's very hot here, so I'm in my tank top. My pretty pink, peachy tank top. And my hair is back. I dyed it again. It's blue and mauve. Okay, so I'm going to see my wrinkly fatty stuff. Alright, anyway, so I'm going to roll the dice. You guys get to see it. And then I'm going to tell a story. And then I'll bring it back to me while I tell a story. Looking at the dice. Okay? So we'll see how this works. It may not work at all, and this will be the only time. Maybe it'll work, and you guys will be like, hey, let's try something different like that. But it's just a fun thing to do. I don't know why, but it seems like it. Okay. So here we go. This is how I do my crafting videos, by the way. Alright. We played this once before. I feel like there's another one in there. Hello, Mr. Dice. Nope, I guess not. So we have 5 dice. They all have symbols on them. Ready? Here we go. Oh, we've got a cane. Is that a cane? That looks like a cane to me. You got a cane. We have an arrow. Oh, well. Right there, we have fallout stuff. That's a skyscraper. We have a lock. And a pyramid. Okay, so. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Don't you think? Is that interesting? I have to make a thing here so I know where to craft. Alright, look, I found my ruler. I was looking for that. Alright, so here we go. I roll the dice again. So Dolly is trapped by the door. She's killing off zombies with her cane and her arrow. Of course, I think that the arrow is probably through their head. Like I seen that in Walking Dead. It would only work in the heart if they were vampires. Alright, so Dolly's confused. But she's killing them anyway, left and right, with the cane and the arrow. But they're still coming. I got freaking skyscraper again. And the pyramid. That's good, because that's where we're at. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a person sleeping. Oh, what's this? It's a dragon. And look, I don't think that's our arrow. Nope, that's a cane. That's an actual arrow. Okay, so let's try this again. Ready? Okay, so I realized that I don't know how long I've been going. I mean, they're not very long, and so this really bugs me. In and out, in and out. Mama's got a squeeze box, plays on her chest, get no rest. Goes in and out and in and out. I only know parts of songs, I'm sorry. That's by The Who. Mama's got a squeeze box, she plays on chest. Something about daddy never gets no rest. Because he goes in and out and in and out. Plays all night. And the music's alright. Okay, we'll stop now. I was like that baby song. Got on my head this morning and I had to actually look it up because I couldn't remember it. Alright, so we had pyramid, skyscraper, somebody sleeping, a dragon, and an arrow. So, Dolly is fighting her way. Whoops, Pam. Alright, so Dolly's at the door. She's looking around frantically. She doesn't know what to do because, oh my god, there's these zombies and they're still coming. And so she looks around and she sees an arrow pointing different ways. She doesn't know what way because she doesn't know where she's at and the thing, but she follows it. And as she's running, she keeps running and she keeps seeing these weird symbols of this dragon. And she just really wishes she was still asleep. and back home in her skyscraper. But instead, she is stuck in the pyramid. Alright, I'm just going to roll the next ones. And I have got to do something different. Okay, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? That's probably better, but I have to move stuff. So, pardon me while we move stuff, because this is just driving me nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Okay, okay, let's see if that works better. Well, it does, but now we're crooked. Oh, now we're really close. Haha. All right, that works better. All right, it probably won't stay there for that. So, all right, I'm just gonna roll the dice and show them to you. Now you can say I'm cheating, I guess. All right, so we got, believe it or not, the pyramid again. Could translate that in numbers and numerology. Well, I probably could. And then it could give me lucky numbers, probably. I've got scales. I have a person's face, but I'm not sure if it's a person's face or if it's the impression. That person looks happy, though, so I guess that's a happy face. We have a watch or a clock. And again, the lock. All right, so Dolly's following the way down this corridor with dragon symbols everywhere, and she strangely feels happy to be away from the zombies who haven't noticed that she's left. But she has to weigh herself as to how she's going to get out, and it feels like the time is ticking away, and she just keeps thinking about that locked door, like maybe there was a secret message or something, but she's barreling on down through. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe that was not so good. Here we go. Here we go. Huh. So we got the cane again. We got the sleeping person. I'm sorry about the rocking of the chair. It's annoying. But I don't want to sit on top of you. Here's the airplane. I didn't well think this out. I have an issue with where I'm filming my crafting stuff. So it's really hard for me to get my tablet in there with my thing. I have a lock. And wait. We have an eyeball, which could mean oh so many things. So, with the cane in one hand, she goes running down. She realizes she lost her arrow. She doesn't know what to do. If only she could get on an airplane, a jet airplane, and fly out from here. In fact, what is she going to do when she gets home? Gets out. But what if she hits another locked door? Oh no. And then she looks up, and there's this big door, and above it is an eyeball. And all she can think about is how much she'd be so happy if she was just sleeping and could wake up. Poor Dolly. Will there ever be an end at sight? Probably not. Alright, so we got the cane again. I don't know what this is. An L. I guess it could be left. It's not for Dolly, that's for sure. We got the skyscraper again. It's telling me something because look, sleepy person. And a castle. So she opens the door, luckily, with the eye above it, and she's able to get through it. But as she ends up taking a step through, there's nothing there, and she falls into blackness, and she closes her eyes, and she starts to fall asleep again. And she's really hoping. I don't know what that one was. Uh-oh.
I think that cooler's going to work out nice.
Oh no, we had a problem. I lost what this one was. I don't know what it was. I showed you guys. I could go back and look at it, but I'm not going to. I feel like it was the skyscraper again. Alright, well anyway, so Dolly is falling through. And she falls back to sleep, and she's thinking about her friend Larry, because this big L pops into her head. And she realizes she can't be asleep because she's still holding on the cane, and all of a sudden, at that moment, she hits the floor. And she's looking around. As the light comes in, she realizes she's in the tower of a castle. Well, I don't know if it's a castle or not. She doesn't know if it's a castle. But it is a tower because she sees the one little slits as you walk around in the stairs. Will Dolly make it home? We have no idea. We'd really like Dolly gone. So, I don't know. This looks like an alien to me. Is it an alien or a mask? I guess I get to decide. Look, we still got Elle again. Larry's coming on. I don't know what this one is either. I don't have my glasses. I don't know what that is. Alright, so we have a reader, like a ID reader for a card, computer. I don't know how good that's going to do. We have Elle. We have our happy face and our squeaky chair. And our sleepy mode. And then the alien face. Wow, this is a tough one. So Dolly, kind of sitting there on this, laying there on the floor, looking up at this staircase that is going around, like, you know, like a lighthouse or in a tower. Reaches around for a cane and realizes she can't find a cane, but her hand comes and touches onto a key card thing, which is really perplexing to her because now she knows she's got to be dreaming. Because why would there be a key card in a tower? And then she looks around and she sees these stones that have L's carved into them, all going up along the thing, staircase. And she's a little perplexed, though not feeling too bad, when all of a sudden she sees his face come out of nowhere and says, "You do not belong here." And it's a very alien, creepy looking face, and she just wishes she was back to sleep again. All right. Okay. So we have a rainbow, it looks like. Over the rainbow. We have a light bulb. We have the scales. We have an apple. And you know what? What I thought was the dragon could also be fire. I'm going to go with the dragon. I like it better. But, I mean, it could be, if you do it this way, it could be fire. It could be a fire dragon. So, Dolly, I don't know how to put these together. So, Dolly is like, comes up with this bright idea and looks up and actually sees a little light bulb over her head, like in a cartoon world. And she's now very confused and knows that this has to be a dream, but she can't seem to wake up. And so she starts to climb up the stairs, and she looks out the little windows, and she sees a rainbow with beautiful little clouds, but very fruity-like, like cartoony-like, and that's really freaking her out. So she keeps climbing all the way to the top, and she gets to the very top, and she sees this huge eyeball looking in through this one, like, there's like little windows all the way around the top, and she can see the roof, and she looks out and there's an eyeball looking back at her, and she realizes that it's a dragon that's curled around. And she looks around because she doesn't know where else to go, and there's these weird mechanism that looks like scales, but there's this apples, all these apples in the scale thing, and this eyeball looking at her, and it goes, I know. I'm reaching now for things. Sorry. I have to duck down here. Oh, I lost the dice. I lost the dice. I got it back. Do realize though now my glue doesn't have a lid on it. That sucks. Why? Oh, there it goes. Why don't the glue lid stay on? All right, here we go. Yeah. Can't think of a good ending for this. Okay, so we've got the castle or a rook. We have a flashlight. We have little footprints. We have a house. We have an arrow. So she grabs an apple off the scale. She tosses it out. It bounces off the eye and rolls down, she guesses, and she hears like something crunching it. She looks along frantically because she doesn't think that apple's going to do it. And she sees another arrow, and it's pointing to this little tiny door on the wall. So she looks down. No, she follows over to it, and she looks down, and there's these footprints. And It's like 2 feet. So she puts her 2 feet on it, and the door opens up, but it's very, very tiny, so she has to squish really down. And as she squishes down, she realizes that there's a flashlight, and she looks in it, and she sees a tiny little house way in the distance in this dark tunnel. Okay, so we've got a sheep. We got an eyeball. We have an apple. An old-fashioned cell phone. Or walkie-talkie. And we have a that's not a question box. It's a bubble box, a chat box. Like they called it something. I can't remember what they called it. I remember they called it something, but now in comic books they call it something, but I don't remember what it is. All right, so she's given the choice of going back to get an apple or moving forward through the tunnel towards a house. So she decides to take the flashlight. She starts going through the thing. As she goes through, the house gets bigger, and she feels like she's getting smaller, and she thinks about Alice in Wonderland, because that's really what this has that feel of. And she crawls to the door, and she opens it, and when she opens it, all that's on the other side of the door is a big giant eyeball. That's it. And she keeps hearing sheep. Bah, bah, bah. And she looks around, and there's a cell phone. Every time the bah goes, it rings, and then a little chat box pops up. It says, "Answer me." And Dolly wakes up and answers her cell phone. Okay, that's the end of that story. I just can't think of anything. I had a rainbow and a house and a dragon. And I probably could have gone back to visit the dragon. But anyway, so that's how my brain works. You give me a prompt and I can probably figure out some way of telling a story in a prompt. When I worked with kids, we did that a lot. We'd put 1 or 2 words up on... when you want to teach somebody creative thinking, the best way to do creative thinking is to teach them how to be creative. And I know it seems kind of redundant, but a lot of people don't understand what creativity means. They don't know what it means to not just, look at a word and make a sentence. It's make a sentence that has some type of meaning, or make a sentence that's going to start into something else that's going to have meaning. Or it means, if we're not just talking about art. Oh yeah, my dad scared me. That's the first time I ever heard him bark like that in a long time. Hey, nobody's at the door. I didn't hear nobody knocking. Made me jump. Woo! You guys made me jump. Stop it. Anyway, so when you talk about, listen to him growl. Hey, Chargle, come. Chargle, come. You have to come over here to protect me. No, not you. Come, Chargle. Oh, hang on. So, when you think about creativity, it's about an idea. So you get an idea, and then you make steps towards those ideas. And believe it or not, a lot of people with mental health issues, especially children, have a hard time. Even though they're very, very creative, it's very hard for them to get out of their head, out into the open. So sometimes teaching them about prompts is the best thing, and that's what we used with the story dice, or pictures. You just give them cards, and everybody gets so many cards. I had a picture card game, and you put the pictures out, and you have to make a story or a sentence from it. And the sentence has to be in proper sentence to teach, how to do proper sentencing and things like that. But I enjoyed that kind of work. That was my favorite kind of work besides translating behavior. My other favorite part of my jobs that I had was studying behavior and finding the cause of the behavior, and then figuring out a way to adapt either the person with the behavior, or modify the behavior, or modify their environment. So, like I said, what we'll do is when I loved trying to figure out why a person had behavior, especially children, and then how you can, a creative way to help them be able to interact with the world. I help kids learn to do sign language, or picture cards, or even talk. There's a few that I help learn how to read. There's ones that I taught them how to write. Kids, I taught algebra to kids who could not write their own name but had mathematical sense. I love that job. That was my goal in life. That's where I was working so hard to before I got sick, and then I got sick and my life changed. But creativity, everyone's creative. I get people all the time who tell me, "Oh, we're not creative." I'm creative. You're creative. Everybody's creative. The thing is that society then puts boundaries. And when I say society, I'm saying not all of us, but just the overlapping of society, puts it down that sorry, this gentleman who likes to help just knocked on my door and asked me if I was still trying to cut down my blackberry bushes, which I said I was. And now he's out there going to cut them down for me because he got this special tool that's supposed to cut them, just cut them. So he's out there doing it, and I told him I'd give him some bucks for it. Anyway, so you're creative, I swear. You'll say I'm not creative. It's like saying you don't dance. Everyone can dance. Can we dance like ballet? Can we dance jazz? Can we dance swing? We might have to learn those. People will say, I don't have any rhythm. Well, that's just because you know, some of the most non-rhythmic people I've ever met actually had the most rhythm and really liked music and could keep to a beat and everything. They just couldn't get their body to move at the same time, and that happens. I mean, sometimes that hasn't had nothing to do with the ability to dance. That has to do with how your brain translates movement. And, you know, there are a lot of people that can't do that very well. And then there's people that just can do it naturally but can't be taught it. And then people who have to be taught how to dance but can't naturally come up with a dance move other than, you know, or the one I like is this one, the sway. It always reminds me of the Mario Brothers. I'll say this all the time, the Mario Brother movie where they're in the elevator and they have all the what are they called? They're not Oompas. What are they? The little round bald-headed guys. But they're big in the movie, and they're all swaying to the music. And he gets one going, and then they all follow, and they're all just following to the music. And that's, you know, but creativity is like that. I did groups of adults who told me they weren't creative, and by the end of our groups, had a different viewpoint of what creativity was. Are we all, like, professional artists? I got an itch. Sorry. Are we all professional artists? No. Because society has set rules of what we think is beautiful, what we think is art, what we want to pay for, and, you know, our money. That's why I love Patreon, because that allows for some people a group of people who might like this person's artwork to appreciate that person, and they can make money doing the thing they love. And that's what Patreon's about, and I think it's a really cool thing. Not that I'm plugging it for myself, because mine's not ready yet. I haven't set it up yet. But I just wanted to do something different. What does the Vixen say? Which is really about you asking me questions, but I don't have enough subs to ask me questions. But the questions are always welcome. You can go to my Discord, you can go to my Twitter, you can do it in the comments, you can ask any question. We've had, you know, different types of discussions on what does the Vixen say. Part of the problem is that even though you have a large amount of sub count, you only have certain amounts of people that come to see you over and over. And that's for almost any person under 1,000. You have a set amount of people that always come and a few people that pop in every once in a while. And so I'm just going to do what I do best, which is just be me. Alright, so I'm out of here. And I will catch you all on the flip side.